Hi guys. So very warm welcome to all of you to this session in personal interview basics where we will be covering uh, how to introduce yourself. In the first session we have talked about what self-exploration is, and we will be continuing on those lines a little bit about what you're doing, how you're doing, what should you be talking about in your introduction. So let's get started with that. If you haven't yet connected with me, my name is Abhilasha. I've been teaching for the last 22 years. I've cracked a 99.99 percentile in CAT VRC 9 times. I've co-authored a book called Quantitative Aptitude and Reasoning. I've written the reasoning portion. I've trained over 1 lakh students for various exams. Okay, let's get started. How to prepare an answer. So I'm going to give you a roadmap for this also. For any answer, guys, that you wish to prepare for your exam. Please understand that these answers have to be true. They cannot be lies. That's number one. Don't lie about anything in the interview. Remain as true to yourself as you can. But also, because 80% of the interview questions are very predictable, therefore you should be able to predict these and you should have the answers ready for them. Okay, so I'm sure in yesterday's session, Shavana ma'am must have talked about a little bit about this, but I will also tell you how you can prepare your answers and what the modus operandi should be while you're preparing your answers. So let's take a look and let's understand what the modus operandi should be. Alright, so be prepared to answer any question or this question also, the one that we're going to be talking about, but be prepared to answer this question in one form or another. The first thing you should do is always, when you're thinking of answers, basic questions must always be prepared. Now, what are the basic questions? Tell me something about yourself. Why do you want to do an MBA? Why do you want to join this college? What are your strengths and weaknesses? What are your goals? These things, the basics about yourself, you must have down pat. And any offshoot questions from there also should be prepared. Okay, so when you start your preparation for GDPI WAT and mainly for the personal interview, because that's 40% of the final selection shortlist, so you must sit down and you must look up a list of you. We have already given you a list of questions, so take up those questions very seriously and start understanding how these questions can go and where they can go and what you should be doing. Alright, I am talking away to glory, but I haven't even checked if I'm audible or visible or not. So let me do a quick sound check and find out if I am audible and visible. Tachala, we are not at all. So there are some people watching it. Let's take a look. Guys, if I'm audible and visible, can you give me a quick thumbs up? Ah, yes. Hi Shubham, hi Anjali. Okay. Wonderful. Now that I've seen you guys here, I know things are sorted. Okay, so some questions already. Let's talk about this. I'll just take you back to a blank page where we can talk a little bit about this. Let us open up a blank page. Okay, so let's talk about this. Now, when you're thinking about interview questions, there are some basic questions that they will ask. And this I had discussed in the previous session that there will be some academic questions and there will be some other related questions. So the personal questions are the ones that you really can prepare for. Okay, these are the ones that you can really prepare for and you can prepare for them well. Now, what is it that you can do here? So, number one, for your own self, please write down these 5, 6 questions, the basic interview questions, and write down answers to those, okay? And rehearse them. So, what are the basic questions? Number one, tell me something about yourself. Okay, that's the first question that any interviewer will ask. This is not a question to test you on anything, but this is an icebreaker. Okay, this first question is always an icebreaker. What do I mean by an icebreaker? That it will help you and the interviewer become comfortable about you. So you go in, you're nervous, they just make you sit. Like this year when I was taking some interviews, that's what we did. The minute a student came, we made them comfortable. We said, hey, relax, come, sit down. Take a breath and then we will start talking about you. Okay. So that's the first and foremost thing. That's the most important thing. Pay attention. So do the icebreaker. And if you do this well, guys, have the interviews fun. Now, any question that will happen will probably be an offshoot of this question. So when you talk about yourself, that's where the new questions will come from. So let us say you say that you come from the beautiful city of Nawabs, Lucknow. So the next question will be, oh, Lucknow, what is it famous for? And then you talk about 5 things that Lucknow is famous for. It is education, for its food, for its culture, for its buildings. And then you can talk about all the wonderful things that are there, right? Or maybe in your interview, in your tell me something about yourself, you have spoken about some accomplishment of yours, right? And you say, hey, this is something that I have done which I feel has really added value to my life. So if you have spoken about such an accomplishment, maybe they will ask you about this. Maybe from your work experience, you say, okay, I was the #1 salesman for my company. So, well, they will ask you, okay, what did you sell? How did you sell it? Where did you sell it? So, the offshoot questions are also the ones that you need to prepare for. So, not just the basic questions, but also prepare for the offshoots. So, today we'll be talking about tell me something about yourself, but when you frame your answer, I want you to look at all the possible offshoot questions and also prepare them as you go along. Right? That is how a holistic preparation will happen. Anyway, let's come back to our this thing and we will talk about how you should be preparing. So be prepared to answer this question. Tell me something about yourself in one form or the other. Now remember, first thing, write down your answer. That's the first thing you should do. In a notebook, keep a notebook with you, separate notebook for interviews, and write down this answer. And after 30 minutes, once you've written it, come back to it after some time, read it aloud. You'll realize that, oh, the words are atrocious. So find better words. Of course, you can always Google and find better words. Re-edit. There will be some sentences you will feel that are not relevant. There will be some things that you will say are not really good. So re-edit. Okay, now take this to someone for a feedback. You can bring it to me or to your other educators or to some friend or somebody who's already working. It could be good. So take them for ask their feedback. Incorporate that feedback into your answer. Now, after one day, I'm giving you this process because this is very good. This is really tried and tested and very helpful. After one day, record the answer in a video and hear yourself. Either you will die of laughter, in which case you need to scrap this answer completely, or else you will find problems in certain areas. So whichever areas you feel there are problems, now you rewrite that answer. Okay, rewrite. Okay. So like I said, hear yourself, edit again, edit. Then record again. Okay. Now remember, this answer cannot be more than 30 seconds, cannot be less than 30 seconds, and cannot be more than 60 seconds. This is your elevator speech. You know what is an elevator speech? So you're going in an elevator and you meet somebody. You meet someone you know you want to work with. You meet Aman Jain, you meet Vinita Singh, you meet Bill Gates. Now you don't have your lifetime to talk about yourself. You've got 30 to 60 seconds because his floor is going to come. That's called an elevator speech. Very short, very sweet, very crisp, very concise. So therefore, no less than 30 seconds because then it will not be valuable. You will not even hear it. No more than 60 seconds. So when you prepare, record yourself. Finally, when you are happy, learn this answer. Say it to yourself at least 50 times. This is my answer. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Perfect it. Practice it at least 20 times so it becomes natural to you. I know you will say, ma'am, but ये तो मेरे बारे में ही है. It is already natural to me. Well, yes, but the problem is that it is not really natural. When you start talking, you will start doing my name is We don't want that We want you to come across as comfortable, relaxed. We want you to not be scrambling for thoughts while you're answering this very first question. So therefore, it is very important to have this strongly in place. So write it, read it, edit it, record it, hear yourself, take feedback, re-edit, rewrite, learn it. So it is internalized. That is the process that you will follow for all the basic questions. So all the interview questions, record yourself. That's the best thing. Everybody has a smartphone. You don't have to have a DSLR camera to record yourself. Just get a basic smartphone which you already have. Record yourself in that. Hear how you're speaking. Remember to go slow. Remember to emphasize on things you want to emphasize. Remember not to talk about your negatives in this answer. We don't want to bring attention to the year that you failed. That's not what we want to talk about. Talk about good things. Okay? This answer should leave a smile on the interviewer's face and therefore very important. So this prep should happen. How to prep an answer? This is very important. That is why I've given you this process. This prepping your answer will work for you for every single answer. Alright, so important questions. We were talking about these. The first one, of course, is tell me something about yourself. In so many forms, this question could come. Introduce yourself. Tell me something about yourself. What does your name mean? Does it really embody you? And such like questions. So you could have this question in many forms. Remember, it is an icebreaker. Why are you asked this question? Of course, these schools are using this icebreaker to learn more about who you are as a person. There's no need to be nervous. It's just to ease you into the interview so that you're comfortable and you're ready to talk about your life, your ambition, your goals, and so on. You can use this icebreaker. The smart people use this. It's a tool. It's a lollipop they've given to you. तुम्हारे लाइफ के बारे में तुमसे ज्यादा कौन जानता है? Nobody. So use this icebreaker, guys, to highlight your interesting work, accomplishments, or life experiences. So this is where you talk about what's so special about you, right? If you have done something wonderful, talk about it now. That's what they want to hear. What's wonderful about you? You can even stand out by providing an answer about providing an answer about a unique skill that you have. So something that you have and nobody else has, please highlight it here. This could help you stand out. I will tell you something very interesting. So a couple of years ago, I had a student, very, very basic MCOM student, did not do very well, less than 60% in MCOM also, graduation also very low score. He's got a call to an IM, lower IM but an IM, and it's his best chance. How do we make him score? So I was delving into his, profile. I'm like, what? Tell me more. What were you doing? He's like, he's working at a shop and nothing great. But then he finally tells me that there is a game called PUBG, you remember? So he says that I was the first runner-up in the All India PUBG competition. And it was a huge competition. And those years, PUBG was very, very virulent, right? Everybody was talking about it. I said, bingo, now I've got something that you can talk about. So he spoke about his PUBG experience in his interview. In his first question, tell me something about yourself. And he cracked that interview and he's currently studying in an IIM. So, well, that's how it can be. Maybe you have something that is there in you, that is a unique skill, a trait, a quality, something that you have done that is so unique that not many people have done. Find that about yourself. And that's the thing that you want to highlight here in this question. Tell me something about yourself. So please, please, please remember this. This is a very important question. So creating a one-of-a-kind response is how you can be a very memorable candidate. And that's what we want. We want you to leave a very pleasant aftertaste. So when you step out of the interview, as all interviewers do, somebody should say, whoa, this was a great candidate. Like I was telling you that some days ago, I was taking interviews in a B school and we interviewed about 15 candidates. Probably about 15, maybe a couple more. So there were a couple of candidates who came in and they were so impressive. The minute they left, we were like, okay, approved. There were some who came in and we were very dicey about them. We were like, oh, I don't know. And then there were some who were really bad, who had just come unprepared. So the unprepared ones we were not happy with. But the ones who were prepared and who had something very interesting to talk about, they were the ones that we really wanted to have, take in. So you want to be a candidate who leaves a very pleasant aftertaste in the mind of the interviewer. When the interviewer should think of you, they should say, okay, this is the person I want. So that can happen through your body language, through your energy, through your smile, through the way you look. Should also look very well kept, right? And also through the answers that you give. So your answers are very important, guys. That's why this answer is going to be very, very important. Now, what all should you talk about in this answer? Well, just the usual stuff is what you require to speak about. Hi Aniket, hi Ritika. Can you all hit the like button also, guys? If you are here to like to kari do. Okay, so what do you say in this answer? Number one, your name. Okay, so my name is so and so. Please don't say myself so and so. That is incorrect. Myself is not a way of introducing yourself, right? So don't use it. Say my name is so and so or I am so and so. Also, if they say Rohan, tell me something about yourself. You don't have to say my name is Rohan. They already know about that, right? So if they have not mentioned your name and they just ask you, so then you can start with your name. Otherwise, you don't have to. Now, in your name, of course, you can talk about your name a lot or a little, as much as you want. Some of you have very unique names also. So if you have a very unique name, you can talk about how your name personifies a perfect candidate, how your name is a perfect reflection of who you are, or how your name was given to you because of certain, similarity to someone who is very great, right? So bring out, if you have something interesting in your name, bring that out. These things really make a difference, right? So when I introduce myself, I always say that my father named me after reading the poem Pushp Ki Abhilasha by Makhan Lal Chaturvedi. So that is why I was named Abhilasha. And that's perfectly okay. So somebody will say, oh, have you read the poem? And I'll be like, yes, I have. So what is it all about? So when I was doing my interviews, I had learned it up perfectly. So I remembered how to say, चाह नहीं मैं सुरबाला के गहनों में गूथा जाऊं, चाह नहीं मैं प्रेमी माला में बिन प्यारी को ललचाऊं, and so on. Of course I knew a lot of other poems also, but this is because it was my name. I had to remember it. So I remembered it and I said it. I used to say it. It was so easy. So there was something to talk about, and then of course you could take it to something that you really wanted to. So if you have a name, talk about it. If you don't have a name, if you have a very commonplace name, my name is, let's say, Rahul Singh. Now Rahul, if you Google Rahul Singh, you will find at least 20,000 Rahul Singhs in this country, right? So that means it's a very commonplace name. So how do you then talk about your name? So you say my name is Rahul Singh and my uh, let's say I like to call myself this. I like to call myself determined. I like to call myself Mr. So and so, Mr. Hardworking, because it is a reflection of who I am. And then you could take it to something that you have, associated with yourself. So that's something that can be done. But anyway, so you could talk about your name. Then sequentially, because we are going, I am telling you the sequence, this is how it should be. Then you should, if you have work X, please understand, if you have work X, talk about your work X. And again, it will go from now to last. So from current to last. So this is how, from present to past, talk about, so currently I am working as a software engineer in so and so company. Previously, I was with so and so company in this position from this to this time. Your work X. Maximum you will have 2 or 3 jobs, so talk about them. So current one, previous one, and the last one. Then once you've spoken about that, in this you can also talk about great things that you have done. So I was given the Star of the Month award 3 times in a row. Okay, so that. Then you talk about your academics. That's number 3, your academics. What am I talking about? I'm talking about my academic background. Now again, academic background from present to past. So graduation, then 12th, and then 10th. This is how. So graduation, I've done my graduation in commerce, or I've done my graduation in economics, or I've done, you don't say I've done my graduation in BSc, or I've done my graduation in BTech. No, I've done my graduation in technology. I have done my BTech. I've done my bachelor's in technology. Try not to use short forms. Okay, I've done my bachelor's in arts from Delhi University, not from DU, not from CU, not from PU. from Delhi University, from Calcutta University, from whichever university, from the University of Lucknow, as it is for me. So speak about this. If you have great scores, you can do that. If you have done something wonderful, I was the class rep of my batch for my pre-final and the final year. I was president of Falana, whatever. If you have done something great, and in your 10th and 12th, you just have to mention your school and what you, if you have any achievements there, then yes. So I have done my 10th and 12th from Loreto Convent in Lucknow, where I was the subject topper in my class 12th board examination. Just that much is enough. So I have said I am the subject topper. Which subject? Then they will turn around and ask me. So I'll say, okay, I was the topper of my subject in that was geography. They'll say, okay, then why did you not continue with geography? Well, I had different dreams. From the time I was in class 9th, my dream was to go into an MBA. Whatever. So I can build that story. So your academic background, again from present to past. Then you talk about your extracurriculars and co-curricular accomplishments. Now please understand that these accomplishments, you can have a list of accomplishments from nursery to graduation, but please don't use all those ones. I won a painting competition in nursery. No, don't do it. From class 9th to class 12th and to graduation. Those are the ones that you should mention. Well, if in class 6 you won a national Olympiad, then yes, you could mention it. Otherwise, not really important. So, accomplishments from class 9th to graduation. Again, the reverse order will work, right? So, from graduation to 9th. Then you talk about your hobbies and interests. What are your hobbies? What are your interests? Hobbies are something that you really spend a lot of time, money, energy, effort on. Interest is something that you do when you have free time. It's not something that you're ultra crazy about. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the difference between hobbies and interests. Then you could talk about your family in one line. So my father is a doctor, my mother is a housewife. Hazif is the word. I have one younger sibling who is doing his bachelor's in finance, and that's it. That's it. You don't have to tell their names. You don't have to tell where your father is coming from, how many siblings your father has, and what. Nothing. None of those. Very short. And my goal in life is to do what? And how this MBA can help. If you can cover this, then this also kind of rounds up why MBA. You know, so if you can say what is your goal in life and how MBA can help, then you have already answered the next question, which would have been why do you want to do an MBA? But you have already preempted that question and answered it perfect. So this is what you will cover in this answer. I hope you got this. These are the 5-6 things that we will do. Okay, so name, work, academic background, extracurriculars, hobbies, interests, families, and goals in life. These. Like I said, please write this answer down tonight and prepare it. Okay. Now, I hope that's clear. Now, one more question that we'll talk about today, and that is tell me something about yourself that's not on this resume, or not on this that we don't know, or that you haven't put in this data form. Well, all colleges will give you a data form, right? So now you have to answer something about what is not on this data form. So that's going to be your task too. Okay, so this one. And this is an interesting question because sometimes they do ask you, they switch it around. Now please understand, this is also a question to ask about something special about yourself. So don't say anything negative. I am a kleptomaniac. That's what you don't know about me. No, please don't say anything negative about anything. This is again a chance to talk about how unique you are. So what can you say in this answer? You can discuss a job related quality, something that is related to your work and that you are doing, and that's wonderful. You could talk about a personal strength. It doesn't have to be a big answer. You can do a short answer here too. But it has to be very interesting. A group or organization that you belong to. So I am part of an NGO which is doing this work over the last 5 years. We have worked for such and such thing. We are feeding how many people every month. This, whatever. Okay, so you can do that. A hobby or an interest that's very unique to you. So there is a student of mine who's currently studying in Calcutta. So he's a very wonderful photographer. And he had a website, which, website only, yeah. He had a website where he had like all his photos put up and he was getting a lot of views on those, right? So he spoke about that. So you could also talk about something that you have. Okay, so a hobby or interest, something unique about yourself. Like I said, if you have some skills or certifications that could help you in your job, then yes, please talk about that. You have done digital marketing because you're really keen on, you know, this thing and marketing as your goal. You have done a course from Harvard which would help you in the basics of marketing or basics of management, something like that. Any skills or certifications, you have done a course on Python and or you've done Sun Java or something like that, those will work. Any non-work experience or volunteer work that you do will also be very good to talk about here. Okay. Then choose that things that are relevant to the particular B school. Frame different answers for different schools depending on the school's emphasis on certain things. For example, SP Jain is really keen on volunteer work, on NGOs for social work. So now when, let us say you are in an SPZ interview, so there you should talk about how your life, throughout your life, you have been involved in something like that. If you have been, okay. Uh, Colleges like I'm Calcutta or I'm Bangalore, very keen on quantitative techniques. So maybe you've done a course on some quantitative techniques, how you were a student of BSc Maths and how you found Maths to be very interesting, and some research work that you did on Maths, whatever. So you look up the B school site, they talk about what is so special about them. And those, if you can bring up in this answer, you can add into this answer, it will be a perfect answer. Okay. So this is again something that you can use to highlight yourself. Okay. All right. So that is it for today, guys. As your homework for these two questions, please write your answers and you can send them to me directly. You know how to connect with me on Telegram and thereafter. Guys, this is a list of some students who I helped crack CAT 2021. CAT 22 results are still rolling in. We will have GDs and interviews with you guys. So, of course, we will take a bit of time and then at the end of the season, we will compile a result. But if you wish to be here, stay connected to me. Alright, here's a list of our CAT aspirants and CAT results. Congratulations to our toppers. List of all the toppers. Okay. The Unacademy CATS 23 scholarship is happening on 15th of January from 12 to 1. Ranks 1 to 100 will get all of these amazing scholarships. So you can also vie for them. You have to go to our app or website and use this code and join up for free. Okay, the 0 to Zenith batch started on 5th of January and here is a list of educators who will be taking this batch. Enrollment is still on. Use the code ABHICAT Live. 0 to Zenith batch has many USPs including Unacademy notes, study material, raise a hand feature, 25,000 plus practice questions, 100 plus mocks, one access to all courses and so on. If you are someone who's decided not to write their interviews because the exam didn't go as you envisioned it, well, you got the perfect score batch for repeaters starting on 16th of January. Code remains the same. Now this batch, the USP or the main thing is that the syllabus will be finished by 23rd May 2023 and after that the next 6 months we'll be doing intensive practice. Okay, Aspire and Inspire, the GDPI award program started on 10th of January. If you wish to subscribe, you can use this. Otherwise, you can stay with me. Alright, Crack CAT with an Unacademy Light subscription, 10 full-length mocks, 4 OMET mocks, 25 sectional tests and 25,000 practice questions only at the price of $9.99. Code ABHICAT Live to subscribe. Alright, our Plus and Iconic subscriptions are available for all our students and for those who wish to join us. You have all of these lovely features which you can take advantage of. So my classes, like I said, the GDPI award course is happening 8 p.m. Monday, Wednesday and Friday on Let's Crack Verbal. So please make sure you're joining in. Okay, thank you so much. Here are my credentials which you can use to connect with me on Telegram, MBACAT23 and on Unacademy, Abhilasha_S or Abhilasha Swarup. Thank you so much. I hope you have a nice day. I'll see you day after tomorrow in the next session.